Greetings, true champions of the cause. Welcome to Starplanet One Shots. I am your host, the tenebrous Arius Vallo. In today's episode, we will be showcasing a science fiction short story from the universe 22783, The Human Hordes, Humanity's New Beginning, penned by Alex Stolli, published in Space Opera Monthly by Lost Press in 1978. Now, dear travelers, let's begin. The Grand Council Chamber, bathed in a warm golden light, hums with energy. The walls, towering and ornate, glisten with intricate carvings that tell ancient tales of conquest and glory. At the chamber's entrance stand formidable reptilian soldiers, their bodies encased in imposing, heavily armored exoskeletons. The metallic clink of their movements adds to the low murmur of voices and the occasional sharp hiss that fills the air. The chamber itself is vast, with a domed ceiling that stretches high above, giving the impression of a sky that has long since forgotten the sun. A mix of representatives from various Annunanki kingdoms occupies the room. Though all share a reptilian origin, their appearances vary widely. Some have the sleek, scaled bodies of serpents, their eyes narrow and gleaming with a predatory glint. Others bear the robust, muscular forms of ancient lizards, their skin rough and marked by the battles of their forebears. Each wears a robe in the colors of their respective kingdom, ranging from deep blues and vibrant greens to dark, shadowy purples and blood reds. These garments are adorned with symbols and patterns unique to their lineage, reflecting their culture and status. At the heart of the chamber, a grand throne commands attention. Seated upon it is the Empress, a figure of striking beauty and authority. Her form is slender and serpentine, her skin smooth and iridescent, reflecting the light in a way that seems almost hypnotic. Her robe, pure white and trimmed with gold, is a stark contrast to the darker hues worn by the others. Her gaze, sharp and seductive, sweeps across the room, taking in the tension that hangs heavy in the air. With a graceful motion, she raises her hand. Silence, silence. Her voice, soft yet commanding, cuts through the noise. The room gradually falls into a hush, all eyes fixed on her. Her hand lowers slowly, with a deliberate grace that commands attention. I see many of you are already aware of why you have been summoned here today, she begins, her voice carrying a dangerous allure. For those who are not, let me inform you. She pauses, her gaze piercing as she continues. The Krura'un have raided our stockpile of primates. They have repurposed these creatures for their own. The chamber erupts into a cacophony of hisses and frantic chatter, the tension snapping through the room like an electric current. The Empress's eyes narrow, and her voice slices through the noise, cold and sharp. Silence! Her command is a whip crack that instantly quells the uproar. The room plunges into a tense quiet, save for the heavy breaths of the agitated delegates. One of them, a figure with deep emerald scales and a hooded cobra-like head, steps forward. His voice is thick with indignation. Empress Sharala, this outcome is beyond unacceptable. Someone must be held responsible. These evolved primates are our most formidable asset. How could this possibly happen? The Empress, her gaze unyielding, responds with a measured tone. I understand the gravity of this setback. The investigation is ongoing. However, it appears that the Krura'un chanced upon a long-forgotten breeding world, a planet designated Earth. A murmur ripples through the chamber, punctuated by a delegate's incredulous voice. Earth? Sharala's eyes glint with a mixture of annoyance and intrigue. Yes, Earth. It seems that this planet was neglected, left to drift out of our focus. Intelligence reports suggest that these primates, left to their own evolution, have forgotten their purpose and position. Remarkably, they had even developed space travel on their own accord. Space travel? How extraordinary. Truly a rare batch indeed, remarks a delegate, his serpentine eyes gleaming with a mix of curiosity and surprise. Another delegate, scales shimmering a deep crimson, leans forward, confusion creasing his brow. What do you mean, had? The Empress's expression darkens, her voice lowering to a somber tone. Yes, had. Unfortunately, the Krura'un have turned all the inhabitants of this planet to ash. They've extracted the DNA of these primates and have already begun their own experiments. A tense silence grips the chamber, the weight of the news settling heavily over the gathered representatives. In the dimly lit recesses of the chamber, a figure stands apart from the rest, cloaked in shadow. Though humanoid in form, something in its posture suggests an underlying fury. The figure exhales slowly, a sound that carries a weight of barely restrained anger. The fact that these primates were able to achieve space travel independently is deeply concerning, a delegate comments, his tone edged with unease. Agreed, another delegate replies, his voice gravely serious. According to the reports, these creatures managed to resist the Krura'un for half a cycle before finally succumbing. Once more, the chamber erupts into frantic chatter, the delegates unable to contain their growing alarm. Silence, the Empress commands, her voice cutting through the chaos with an iron edge. A delegate steps forward, his eyes narrowing. Not only did this species develop space travel, but they were formidable enough to hold off a Krura'un armada. And now, the Krura'un have this weapon in their grasp. Another delegate adds, his voice tinged with dread. Not just in their grasp, but also with the ability to improve upon them. Again, the chamber explodes into frantic chatter, a wave of fear and anxiety sweeping through the delegates. The noise grows louder, voices overlapping in a chaotic blend of concern and speculation. Silence! The Empress's voice echoes through the chamber, firm and commanding. A large lizard-like delegate snorts dismissively. Bah, the Ashainta fear no primates. Let the Krura'un send their monkey men. The Ashainta have never met a monkey they couldn't defeat. From the shadows at the back of the chamber, the humanoid figure steps forward, his voice cutting through the clamor. That's because you've never fought us. The room falls silent, all eyes turning towards the figure as he emerges from the darkness. A human strides confidently toward the center of the chamber, his footsteps resonating with each step. I wish to speak, he declares. The Ashainta delegate's face contorts in disdain at the sight of the human. Who is that? A delegate whispers to his neighbor. That is Queen Mak Otto's monkey husband, comes the reply. That him? Disgusting. How can an Annunanki be with such a creature? Another delegate mutters. A wave of hisses and whispers spreads among the delegates. The human is dressed in a dark purple royal military uniform, adorned with a short white cape, golden metal shoulder armor, and black boots trimmed with gold. His light white blonde hair and striking pink eyes only add to the murmur of disapproval. The Empress gazes down at the human with a mix of curiosity and authority. The floor recognizes the ruler of Ashtar, His Majesty King Salu Kando. Thank you, Empress. Salu Kando begins, his voice steady and resonant. Before I start, allow me to remind the Council that the Kingdom of Ashtar is not only a realm where Annunanki and these so-called monkey men coexist in harmony, but also a kingdom that has earned its place in this empire through its prowess in the arts of war. It was this very council that once accepted and recognized a monkey kingdom into this empire. The Empress smirks, her gaze cold and unyielding. The floor is not a place for lectures or history lessons, King Kando. We have more pressing issues concerning your kind. Salu Kando nods, acknowledging her rebuke. Yes, Empress, I am aware. I apologize. Before this particular breed's reputation reached this chamber, it was my lineage that demonstrated to the Empire that we were capable of such feats. It was due to our efforts that regulations were established regarding breeding planets. Salu Kando continues firmly. A delegate interrupts, his voice dripping with disdain. Must we endure this monkey's boasting? Salu's gaze turns icy as he fixes the delegate with a cold stare. Get to the point, Salu. Please, the Empress says, her tone impatient. This breed from the planet Earth appears to be an exceptionally rare specimen, Salu asserts. They are as advanced as we were at their stage, making them highly dangerous. I must emphasize that there are laws prohibiting experimentation on any breed that has reached level 4 evolution. The Krura'un are not bound by those laws. The Empress responds curtly. We are aware of this, Salu. As she speaks, the chamber erupts into mocking. Salu surveys the room with a steely expression. And that is why the kingdom of Ashtar is best equipped to address this issue, he declares with conviction. The chamber falls silent for a moment before a wave of laughter ripples through the delegates, their shock quickly giving way to ridicule. You laugh, Salu Kando begins, his voice carrying through the chamber. Yet every one of your kingdoms that tried to crush us during our revolution, those of you with the courage to act, he says, his gaze locking onto the Ishainta delegate, were ultimately defeated and sent home to lick your wounds. Salu shifts his focus back to the Empress, a smirk playing on his lips. I offer not just a solution, but also a chance to acquire this breed's DNA. None of you, with your scales and cold blood, will be able to infiltrate them. The chamber falls into a heavy silence as the Empress observes, her expression unreadable. If this breed is anything like my kind, Salu continues, they will annihilate you in an instant. If they could fend off a Krura'un armada for half a cycle with primitive technology, imagine what they could accomplish with Krura'un advancements. We need to infiltrate this breed, locate their DNA samples, retrieve them, and then eradicate them. Let me remind you why there are strict regulations against experimentation after level 4 evolution, Salu concludes. The Empress, acknowledging the gravity of Salu's words, looks thoughtfully at the delegates, who exchange uneasy glances. Why are you so passionate about this, Salu? She inquires, her tone curious. Salu takes a deep breath before responding. I have witnessed firsthand what happens when we are pushed beyond level 4 evolution. It's not only dangerous, it's cruel. There's a brief pause as his words hang in the air. Very well, Salu. You have made your point. What is your plan? The Empress asks, her voice now tinged with seriousness. Light years away from Annunanki occupied space, as the sleek royal starship docks with the Krura'un space station, the atmosphere is tense with an air of secrecy and anticipation. The station, heavily protected by warships, drifts silently among the asteroids, its imposing presence a testament to the power of the Krura'un. Inside, the soft hiss of the airlock echoes through the sterile hallways, followed by the rhythmic footsteps of an approaching figure. Captain Mogris, a small humanoid with a deep blue military uniform adorned with intricate red patterns, strides purposefully down the corridor. His expression is one of urgency, aware that his report is of utmost importance. As Mogris reaches the end of the hallway, he is met by Lord Agros, a towering figure with striking light purple skin and bright orange hair that contrasts sharply with his angular, almost regal features. His deep dark blue uniform is similarly adorned with red patterns, and a flowing red cape drapes over his shoulders, adding to his commanding presence. "Progress report," Lord Agros commands, his voice resonating with authority as they begin to walk together down the corridor. "The experimentation process is coming along nicely, my lord," Mogris replies, his tone respectful, yet eager to share his findings. "These humans truly are an amazing creature. The small group we've deployed into the field has been very successful. However, we've discovered that they are far from the pinnacle of their potential." Lord Agros's eyes narrow with interest, his mind already racing with the implications of Mogris's words. "Go on," he prompts. As Captain Mogris and Lord Agros pass through the door, they enter a vast, sprawling laboratory. The cold, clinical atmosphere is punctuated by the soft hum of machinery and the occasional beep of monitoring devices. The room is dominated by rows of enormous glass tubes, each filled with a glowing yellow liquid. Inside these tubes, naked human subjects float motionless, their bodies suspended in the viscous fluid, connected to breathing masks and a web of wires that monitor their vital signs. Beyond the tubes, the lab opens up into a series of testing platforms. Here, other human subjects, stripped of their individuality and reduced to mere test subjects, engage in combat. Their movements are precise, almost mechanical, as they fight with an intensity that is both brutal and efficient. Krura'un scientists, dressed in sterile white uniforms, monitor their every move, taking notes, analyzing data, and occasionally adjusting controls on the consoles surrounding the platforms. On the far side of the lab, a more gruesome scene unfolds. Human bodies, some alive, some not, lie on metallic tables, their skin pale under the harsh fluorescent lights. Krura'un scientists dissect them with meticulous precision, their hands moving with practiced efficiency as they explore the intricacies of human anatomy. And with that, true champions of the cause, our story has come to an end. I thank you for spending this time with us, and I look forward to seeing you again. Please let your thoughts be known in the comments. I truly enjoy reading them. So, until next time, please like, comment, and subscribe. Until our paths cross again, I have been your host, Arius Vallo. See you in the shadows, my love.
Would you look at that?
The new beef superior is here, only at Starry's. Wherever you are in the universe, there's always one place that feels like home. Starry's, eat in, eat out, but always eat the best. Greetings, true champions of the cause. We hope you're enjoying your stay here on Starplanet. Please allow me to take this opportunity to introduce you to Starplanet Music, a continuously expanding portfolio of musical works that spans an impressive array of genres. Starplanet Music, the future of the underground, Visit starplanetmusic.com today.
The universe is a grand place, full of uncertainty. But the one thing you can be sure on is the greatest pizzas can always be found at Pistol Star Pizza, with over 500 trillion outlets throughout the universe. One thing is for sure, you'll never go hungry at Pistol Star Pizza. Pistol Star Pizza. At Pistol Star Pizza.